so now we're going to talk about what happens with a challenge. Now, before I mentioned that when you take your turn, you can choose to either move and collect, or you can choose to stay where you are and challenge. And what that means is you're going to try to win the spot you're in. So, for instance, they've been playing for a while, right? They've been moving around and collecting points. And right now, blue is in white sands, and blue has decided that they are going to stay in white sands, and they are going to accept the challenge. Now, on the challenge cards, there's like a little blurb second up from the bottom that has a little fun challenge on it. It's not strictly necessary to read that, but it's kind of fun. In this case, the challenge is to reverse engineer a rocket. German scientists helped the United States replicate V-2 rockets at White Sands Missile Range after World War II. Can you improve on their designs? So it's not entirely necessary, but it's kind of fun. It's educational. It's a good time. So what you do in order to challenge at that spot is you roll the dice to determine how difficult it is. And in round 1, we are going to be using 2 white dice and 1 red die. In order to win the challenge, you have to have more, or at least the number of points that appear on the red die. So for example, if you roll a 4, right, on the red die, and you have 4 red points, you're good. And if you roll, I don't know, 7 on the white die, and you have at least 7 points, you're good. If you don't, right, like if you roll 12 on the white die and you only have 7 points, then you lose. And we will go over what happens if you lose in a moment. So blue is going to challenge at White Sands. Right now they have 3, 6, 9, 10 influence points and 5 science points. So they think they have a pretty good shot at winning this challenge. So let's see. Okay, so blue rolled an 11 on the white die, and that is not good for blue because they only had 10 influence points, so they are going to lose. It doesn't matter that they rolled a 3 on the red die and they had more than that. Doesn't matter, right? Because they still lost on the influence points area. So what they have to do is they have to discard all of their science points, right? Put them all back over here. And they have to discard half of their influence points. And when you're discarding influence points, if you have an uneven number, you always discard up, right? So if you had 11 and you had to discard half, you would discard 6. So they have 10, so they're gonna discard 5 of them. And now they have 0 science points and 5 influence points. So they did not win White Sands. Okay, so green also feels that they have enough points to win a space. So they have 7 influence points and 4 science points. And they are going to challenge at Balloon Fiesta Park. Okay. So green rolled a 6 on the white die, which is good for them because they have 7 influence points. And they rolled a 4 on the red die, which is also good for them because they have 4 science points. So they get to win Balloon Fiesta Park. They put a little green cube onto that space just to make sure everyone remembers that they won that spot. And then, even though they won, they're still going to discard the number of points that they had to use in order to win the challenge. So in this case, they had a 6 here, so they're going to have to discard 6 influence points. And they rolled a 4 on the red die, so they're going to discard all 4 of their science points. The other thing that could happen is if you roll a 1 on one of the white die, either one or both, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many points you have. You still lose. You automatically lose. And you have to discard all your science points and half of your influence